Hello. In this lesson, we're going to learn a little bit about creating a Vray proxy. So if you want to follow along, go ahead and open up proxy starter _01 and let's get started. Okay. Now, as you can see, I've got an infinite ground plane here. I've got just a surface that we'll be using a little bit later. I've got a few rocks and I've got some trees. These are all meshes and OBJs that we've brought in from some pay sites. Typically in Rhino, not a very good idea to try and model a rock or a tree. It's a little bit more complicated. Better left to other pieces of software. But you can certainly bring these things in and then create proxies and then create blocks and populate your models with them. So we'll talk a lot more about that during class, but right now this video is just about what buttons to push in order to get this stuff to work. Okay, so once you have this open, my suggestion would be to go ahead and start an interactive rendering. And as you can see, we've got an HDRI back here. We've got our rocks, okay, and we've got our trees, okay. Now, a Vray proxy is basically, or not basically, it absolutely is an object, okay, a Vray object. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my asset editor. And as you can see, I've got these objects in here already, and if we look at the materials, these materials already have objects, okay? And take a look at them. There's proxy material 1, grass, leaves, bark, and rocks, okay? Now, if we go over here into the geometry, you'll notice right now the only Vray geometry we have is an infinite plane, okay? Now, Vray's been a little bit buggy, and I've been crashing the machine the last few times that I've tried to create a proxy using this tree. So it's about a 50-50 mix. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a very simple proxy using one of these rocks here. Okay. So I'm going to select this rock right there, which is a group. Okay. And I'm going to go up here into my Vray bar. Okay, a lot of times it's up here, but for some reason it happens to be right here. I'm going to cascade out the Vray proxy. And I'm going to select this guy right here that says export as a Vray mesh. So I'm going to go ahead and click that object there. And now the next thing I need to do is give it a file path. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename this. I'm going to go ahead and click here. And I'm going to put it in this folder where we have it. And right now you can see I've named it as rock proxy VR mesh. I'm going to go ahead and I'll name this rock proxy 2. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export it. And as I export it, you'll notice that this will change the amount of detail. And probably, well, it may not because it was already a mesh to begin with. Yeah, actually, if we zoom in on this, you can see that it is considerably simplified. This one here, that proxy, is considerably simplified, at least in terms of its appearance here in the wireframe, as opposed to his neighbors. Okay, so what I've just done, and you'll notice right here, I've got myself a rock proxy. Okay, now what I've just done is I've created that. I'm going to stop the video right now, and in the next video, I'm going to show you how to import a proxy that I've created. Okay, so I'm going to stop this lesson, and I will see you in the next one.